Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Which verse is written?
9 through 11.
On the board is number 11.
Number 11 on the board. Thank you. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, verses 9 to 11. We are chanting now the text 11, right? Raksha Adamena. Is it correct?
Yes.
Vrikkavat Vipine Asamaksham Vaideha Raja Duhitari Apaya Pitayam Bhratra Vane Kripanavat Priyaya Viyuktaha Stri Sanginam Gatim Iti Prathayan Chachara Rakshodamena Vrikavat Vipine Samaksham Vaideha Raja Duhitarya Payapitaya Bhratravane Kripanavat Priyaya Viyukta Stri Sanginam Gatimiti Pratayam Chachara Raksha Adamena, by the most wicked among Rakshasas, Ravana. Vrikkavat, like a tiger. Vipine, in the forest. Asamaksham, unprotected. Vaideha Raja Duhitari. By this condition of Mother Sita, the daughter of the king of Vaideha. Apayapitayam, having been kidnapped. Bhratra, with his brother. Vane, in the forest. Kripanavat, as if a very distressed person. Priyaya, by his dear wife. Viyuktaha, separated. Stri Sanginam, of persons attracted to or connected with women. Gatim, destination. Iti, thus. Prathayan, given an example. Chachara, wandered. Translation. When Ramachandra entered the forest and Lakshman was also absent, the worst of the Rakshasas, Ravana, kidnapped Sita Devi, the daughter of the king of Videha, just as a tiger seizes unprotected sheep when the shepherd is absent. Then Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest with his brother Lakshman, as if very much distressed due to separation from his wife. Thus he showed by his personal example the condition of a person attached to women. So now I also have to read verse 9 and 10. Verse 9 translation. While wandering in the forest, where he accepted a life of hardship, carrying his invincible bow and arrows in his hand, Lord Ramachandra deformed Ravana's sister, who was polluted with lusty desires, by cutting off her nose and ears. He also killed her 14,000 Rakshasa friends, headed by Kara, Trishira, and Dushana. Text 10. O King Parikshit, when Ravana, who had 10 heads on his shoulders, heard about the beautiful and attractive features of Sita, his mind was agitated by lusty desires, and he went to kidnap her. To distract Lord Ramachandra from his ashram, Ravana sent Maricha in the form of a golden deer, and when Lord Ramachandra saw that wonderful deer, he left his residence and followed it, and finally killed it with a sharp arrow, just as Lord Shiva killed Daksha. So now we read the purport to text 11. In this verse, the words Stri Sanginam Gatim Iti indicate that the condition of a person attached to women was shown by the Lord himself. According to moral instructions, Grihe Narim Vivajayet, when one goes on a tour, one should not bring his wife. Formerly, man used to travel without conveyances, but still, as far as possible, when one leaves home, one should not take his wife with him, especially if one is in such a condition as Lord Ramachandra when banished by the order of his father. Whether in the forest or at home, if one is attached to women, this attachment is always troublesome, as shown by the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his personal example. Of course, this is the material side of Stri Sangi, but the situation of Lord Ramachandra is spiritual, for he does not belong to the material world. Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayana is beyond the material creation. Because he is the creator of the material world, he is not subject to the condition of the material world. The separation of Lord Ramachandra from Sita is spiritually understood as Vipralambha, which is an activity of the Hladini potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, belonging to the Shringara Rasa, the mellow of conjugal love in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the dealings of love, displaying the symptoms called Sattvika, Sanchari, Vilapa, Murcha, and Unmada. Thus, when Lord Ramachandra was separated from Sita, all these spiritual symptoms were manifested. The Lord is neither impersonal nor impotent. Rather, he is Satchit Ananda Vigraha, the eternal form of knowledge and bliss. Thus he has all the symptoms of spiritual bliss. Feeling separation from one's beloved is also an item of spiritual bliss, as explained by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Hladini Shakti. The dealings of love between Radha and Krishna are displayed as the pleasure potency of the Lord. The Lord is the original source of all pleasure, the reservoir of all pleasure. Lord Ramachandra therefore manifested the truth, both spiritually and materially. Materially, those who are attached to women suffer, but spiritually, when there are feelings of separation between the Lord and His pleasure potency, the spiritual bliss of the Lord increases. This is further explained in Bhagavad-Gita 9:11. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashitam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. One who does not know the spiritual potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead thinks of the Lord as an ordinary human being. But the Lord's mind, intelligence, and senses can never be affected by material conditions. This fact is further explained in the Skanda Purana as quoted by Madhvacharya. Nitya Purana Sukha Jnana Swarupa Soyato Vibhu Atosya Rama Ityakya Tasya Dukkham Kuton Vapi Tathapi Loka Shikshartham Adukko Dukka Vartivat Antarhitam Loka Drishtya Sitam Asit Smaranniva Gyapanatham Punanitya Sambandha Swatmana Shriyah Ayodhyaya Vinirgachan Sarvalokasya Cheshwaraha Pratyaksham tu Sriya Sadham Jagamanadi Avyayah Nakshatra Masa Garnitam Trayottasya Sahasrakam Brahmaloka Samam Chakre Samastam Kshiti Mandalam Ramo Ramo Rama Iti Sarveshama Bhavattada Sarvo Rama Mayo Loko Yada Ramasvapalayat. It was actually impossible for Ravana to take away Sita. The form of Sita taken by Ravana was an illusory representation of Mother Sita, Maya Sita. When Sita was tested in the fire, this Maya Sita was burned, and the real Sita came out of the fire. A further understanding to be derived from this example is that a woman, however powerful she might be in the material world, must be given protection. For as soon as she is unprotected, she will be exploited by Rakshasas like Ravana. Here the words Vaideha Raja Duhitari indicate that before Mother Sita was married to Lord Ramachandra, she was protected by her father, Vaideha Raja. And when she was married, she was protected by her husband. Therefore, the conclusion is that a woman should always be protected. According to the Vedic rule, there's no scope for a woman's being independent, asamaksham, for a woman cannot protect herself independently. Rakshodamena vrikavat vipine samaksham Vaideha Raja Duhitarya Payapitayam Bhratravane Kripanavat Priyaya Viyukta Stri sanginam gatim iti pratayamstachara. When Ramachandra entered the forest and Lakshman was also absent, the worst of the Rakshasas, Ravana, kidnapped Sita Devi, the daughter of the king Vaideha, just as a tiger seizes unprotected sheep when the shepherd is absent. Then Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest with his brother Lakshman, as if very much distressed due to the separation from his wife. Thus, he showed by his personal example the condition of a person attached to women. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti-vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadhyadeshatane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It is also mentioned in the Ramatapani Upanishad. There's one quotation, Chinmaye yasmin mahavishno jate dasharate harau, that Lord Ramachandra, he is completely spiritually situated, just like Lord Vishnu. There's no difference. All his pastimes and activities, as narrated in these verses we are reading now, they're all displays of the internal pleasure-giving potency of the Supreme Lord. One time, doing a morning walk, one disciple of Srila Prabhupada asked Prabhupada, is there any difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra? And Srila Prabhupada explained, there is no difference. Just a different manifestation, different display of the Lord's Leela or pastimes. Otherwise, there's no difference. This is why Srila Prabhupada quotes that verse. We can recite this verse again from the personal diary of Srila Swarup Damodar, that's quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikati Hladini Shakti Asmat Ekatmanavabi Bhuvi Pura Deha Vedam Katauto Chaitanakyam Pagatam Adhuna Tatvayam Shaikam Aptam Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. In this verse, it is explained that the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are the manifestations of the internal pleasure-giving potency of the Lord. Although Radha and Krishna separated themselves eternally, they again united in the form of a Sri Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. It's a very, very interesting verse, because for the material mind, it is impossible to understand. Because the mundane mind, accustomed to material calculation, thinks regarding this statement in the verse, that first there was one entity, then second there were two entities, and then again there's one entity. How is that possible? In the beginning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Radha Krishna, and then again Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the mundane mind immediately thinks that in the beginning there was one personality, then there were two personalities, then again there's one personality, then the other two personalities are gone. Only one personality remains. Just see how crazy mundane logic and the mundane mind is. Radha and Krishna are still there eternally. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there eternally. This is why Srila Prabhupada, he uses in a translation the word eternally, to emphasize the point that the transcendental activities of Radha and Krishna are eternal. The transcendental pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are eternal. Although it is stated there was one personality and that's separated into although it is stated like that, but the fact is they're all eternal, eternal manifestations of the Lord's pastimes. There's one nice quotation from the Jaiva Dharma I would like to read. Sri Krishna and Sri Chaitanya are eternally manifest and present. It is incorrect to conclude that one comes first and the other later. The statement that Sri Chaitanya has separated to become Radha Krishna, who then united to become again Sri Gauranga, expresses that both these manifestations are eternal and always present. Not that one appears before the other. All the activities of the Supreme Absolute Truth are supramundane and eternal. Any person who considers either one of these two sets of pastimes as subordinate to the other is indeed entirely ignorant and does not know anything of the intricacies of rasa. So that's from the Jaiva Dharma quotation. It is mentioned that Lord Ramachandra is an ideal example of a king. Not only of a king, ideal example of a husband, ideal example of a brother, ideal example of a friend. In so many ways, Lord Ramachandra is an ideal example. This is why he is being referred to as Mayada Purushottama. He personifies in a perfect way the Vedic social norms, moral norms, etiquette. He displays them in a perfect way. And we can see from these verses we are reading now, what an ideal king example Lord Ramachandra displays in his pastimes. Not only materially, and of course spiritually. He came to establish the ideal and teach the people in general. I remember in one class Srila Prabhupada once mentioned that although Lord Ramachandra accepted the vow, vrata, of only having one wife, what is that? Eka Patni? Eka Patni vrata. Yeah. Eka Patni. Only one wife. So Srila Prabhupada made that point. Just see the Supreme Personality of Godhead only accepted one wife, and he had so many problems. Only one wife and so many problems. So Srila Prabhupada makes the point that if one is attached to women, then this attachment is always troublesome. At that time, when he was separated from Sita, he cried out in his separation, "Oh Sita, oh Sita." And Srila Prabhupada in the purport makes the point, "Stri Sanginam Gatim." So this particular situation was being displayed by Lord Ramachandra himself. Now we can imagine the women when they hear these statements. It doesn't sound very inspiring to them. The one who associates with me, he has to encounter all troubles, all difficulties. But a Krishna conscious woman, she agrees. Because attachment not only to the material body, but attachment to anything material, it always ultimately ends up in suffering. So a Krishna conscious woman, she immediately agrees, yes, we should all be attached to Krishna. That's Krishna consciousness. So there's no point of feeling insulted, because whether women or men or children or whoever, everybody has to become ultimately attached to Krishna. That's the only path of liberation from all suffering. So these verses should inspire us. Yes, ultimately we have to give up, either voluntarily or by force, material attachments. It will be taken away. Whatever we might be attached to, today, tomorrow, it will be gone. So why not become attached to Krishna? This is why Rupa Goswami, he gives that beautiful verse. My dear Lord, as a young man awakens his attachment immediately upon seeing a young girl, or as a young girl becomes attracted as soon as she sees a young boy, let me become attached to you. That this kind of attachment is natural. We don't have to go to university to learn that kind of attachment. It is a natural attachment. So Srila Prabhupada, he has given us such a wonderful process that we gradually and in a natural way become attached to Krishna. We can see this in a practical way. In a natural way, we don't have to force ourselves. A little force is necessary. Little force is necessary. That's the meaning of sadhana. Mind wants to do so many other things. No. Now you sit down, chant Hare Krishna. A little determination must be there. But it is also natural. Because every day we hear about Krishna, such a wonderful way, Srimad Bhagavatam class, Bhagavad-Gita, reading throughout the day, such a nice process. And if we do it on a regular basis every day, gradually we become attached more and more to Krishna. Rupa Goswami gives another beautiful verse. Smedam bangitraya parichitam sachi vistyena drishtam. That's the first line. My dear friend, if you are indeed attached to your worldly friends, do not look at the smiling face of Govinda. Or we can also say of the smiling face of Gaurnitai. Don't look at the smiling face of Krishna Balaram. Don't look at the smiling face of Shri Shri Radha, Shyama Sundar. Don't do that. So don't look at the smiling face of Lord Govinda as he stands on the bank of the Jamuna at Keshigat, casting sidelong glances. He places his flute to his lips, which seem like newly blossomed twigs. His transcendental body, bending in 3 places, appears very bright in the moonlight. So that's the wonderful process Srila Prabhupada has given us. We can see this every morning, how eager our devotees have become to have darshan of the Lord. Sometimes it is even difficult to find some place in front to have darshan, because the devotees are so eager. It's the natural development to have darshan, to see the Lord, to render service to Him. I was wondering this morning that I actually asked one devotee, is there some special parikrama here in Vrindavan, because so many devotees are there? And he mentioned, no, every day we have so many devotees. Because normally I only visit Vrindavan during the festival time, the Mayapur Vrindavan festival. And then there are many devotees. I never visited throughout the year Vrindavan. And due to some circumstances I had to come now. And again I see so many devotees, and I thought there must be a festival. So many devotees. So it is growing because it is natural. Krishna consciousness, it is not an artificial imposition of the mind, as Srila Prabhupada stated. It is natural. It's just a process of reawakening our natural love and attachment for Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada made the point in the purport, Grihe Narim Vivajayet. When one goes on a tour, one should not bring his wife. So now we might wonder, we thought that Lord Ramachandra, he gave an ideal example. He took his wife. So that question should come up. How is that possible? He's supposed to set an ideal example. He should not have taken his wife, Sita, with him. Now the explanation is given that Rama's father ordered only Rama to go to the forest. So why did he take Sita with him? As Ramachandra is the ideal husband, similarly Sita, she is the ideal wife. Sati Shiromani Pati Vrata. Sati means chaste. Shiromani means crest, like a crest jewel. The meaning is that Sita, she's the crest jewel of all devoted and chaste wives. So she also set the example of an ideal devoted wife who always wants to remain in the shelter and protection of a husband. So when Lord Ramachandra received the order from his father to go to the forest, Sita, she immediately said, I want to go with you. I cannot be separated from you. I will go with you. So Rama replied, why will you go? You have not been ordered. You stay here in Ayodhya. Now you cannot go, because in the forest there are so many dangers. The pathways are filled with thorns, pebbles, and this will not be good for your delicate feet. You should not come with me, you should stay. Now Sita, being very intelligent, she replied that, where's Ayodhya? You order me to stay back in Ayodhya. Where's Ayodhya? Wherever Lord Ramachandra is, there's Ayodhya. This is what she replied. There's no Ayodhya without Lord Ramachandra. Therefore, because you order me to stay in Ayodhya, I have to go with you. Because wherever you go, there's Ayodhya. You're very intelligent. Because a Krishna-conscious, devoted, chaste wife, she always receives intelligence from the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada made the point that generally those who are attached to women suffer, but spiritually, when there are feelings of separation between the Lord and the pleasure potency, then the spiritual bliss of the Lord increases. And that's the difference between the feelings of separation in a material way and in a spiritual way. There's a universe, or universes of difference. Now we also notice that in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he quoted that verse, Pranaya Vikriti, means manifestation, transformation of the internal pleasure potency of the Lord, the pastimes. But he did not comment much on it, because these are very elevated topics. In the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada, he gives us the verses related to this particular verse, an expansion of this verse. And it goes more into detail. The Srila Prabhupada, he does this purposefully, because intimate pastimes of the Lord are not meant for the public. But by citing these verses, Srila Prabhupada also inspires the reader to inquire. When there's sufficient advancement, then the references are there. So Srila Prabhupada's books are so important. As he once mentioned, they are meant to spiritually educate people in general. That's the importance of Srila Prabhupada's books. Everything we find explained in Srila Prabhupada's books. One time, doing a Srimad Bhagavatam class, Srila Prabhupada mentioned there's no comparison. Srimad Bhagavatam, there's no comparison. Nothing comes close to the Srimad Bhagavatam, or what to speak of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nothing comes close. This is why our devotees are so eager to distribute these books, because they're meant to educate, spiritually educate people. It is a massive spiritual education. These are Srila Prabhupada's books. Now, I was really amazed yesterday when I heard in the morning how many books are being distributed here in Vrindavan alone. How much was it? More than 3,000, I think, books in one day, right? Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yeah. More than 3,000 books in one day. This is amazing. And Srila Prabhupada's marathon goes on. In Delhi also, in the morning when I gave class there, they also read the Sankirtan results every day. It's just unbelievable. I remember in the early days here in India, it was difficult to even distribute one book on the street. Nobody wanted to stop. And now thousands and thousands and even millions of books are being distributed. That's Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Because he had such a strong desire to benefit people in general with the Krishna consciousness. And as I mentioned, there's no competition. Imagine you would be a businessman. The business people, they always try to find a hole in the market. There's some item they can sell which nobody produced before. Now, they always meditate on it, naturally, because if there's nothing equal to it, that's the best market. So Srila Prabhupada's book, there's nothing equal. We own the entire world. There's no competition. We just have to go out and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. And Srila Prabhupada will be so pleased. He himself, when the first Krishna book was printed in America, it was a public program, and Srila Prabhupada, he received the first copy, and Prabhupada, he was beaming in bliss. He touched it immediately to his forehead, he checked the quality of the print, and along with this one copy, they brought so many other copies, of course. And then Srila Prabhupada showed it to the audience, and he was so eager to sell the Krishna book. So he made a short introduction and then invited the people to come and buy the Krishna book. Srila Prabhupada sold all of them. So he was so eager himself to distribute these transcendental literatures. And whenever he received the Sankirtan, the book distribution results, he was so happy, naturally so satisfied. And we can easily imagine how satisfied Srila Prabhupada must be hearing the Sankirtan results at present. Only in India, so many books are being distributed. At one time I remember, they printed 1 million Bhagavad-Gitas just for India. The one print, 1 million. It's unbelievable. So that's all Srila Prabhupada's mercy. We just have to continue with the process, chanting our rounds. Chanting of Hare Krishna should always be in the forefront of all our activities. If we simply continue chanting our rounds, chanting Hare Krishna, associate with the devotees, Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, reading, studying Srila Prabhupada's books, then everything will be successful. So the time is up. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. That's it. We go till 9, I was told. We have 1 minute, perhaps one question we can take. Anybody has a question? Yes? Whose watch is this? I cannot hear you acoustically, it's impossible. Okay. Maybe somebody come to the front and, or you can come to the front. The acoustic is not good, I cannot hear.
The master may be very sorry to see his disciple going in Maya, for example.
Oh.
But he is a spiritual master, so he is not attached to his disciple at the same time. But still he feels very sad that he sees his disciple going into Maya.
So what is the
So
question?
what is the difference between the feeling of sadness of an advanced devotee and the feeling of sadness of a person who is attached to a family member or something?
You can.
So my question is, an advanced devotee may feel sorry to see, for example, his disciple going in Maya and leaving Krishna consciousness. So what is the difference of this feeling of sadness of an advanced devotee and the feeling of sadness of a person who is materially attached to his family members, like that?
A little difficult for me to understand the question. I think his point was related to when a disciple of a spiritual master leaves Krishna consciousness, then the spiritual master feels sorry. That much I could understand from the question. And then, what was the question?
What's the difference between that?
What's the difference between that kind of attachment or feeling sorry and material, attachment and feeling sorry? That's natural. Spiritual father and spiritual son. If the spiritual son goes away, the father doesn't feel happy about it. He feels sad, sorry. But again, this is not a material feeling, because it is all connected with Krishna, all connected with Krishna consciousness. How can it be material? Anything which is connected with Krishna, related to Krishna, it cannot be material. It is spiritual. So although spiritual master feels sorry, but at the same time he is praying immediately to the Lord, he is praying to Krishna, kindly save the soul. Or he requests other devotees, as far as possible, look after that disciple, visit him sometimes or her, try to bring him back. So it is not just a feeling of, sadness and becoming influenced by that feeling, become depressed, give up whatever you're doing. No. The effect is the opposite. Whenever a devotee encounters difficulties, he intensifies his practice of Krishna consciousness. That's the difference. He's not giving up or slowing down. He intensifies, just the opposite. So whenever a devotee sees another devotee going away, he intensifies his practice of Krishna consciousness immediately. He takes shelter of Krishna. Kindly protect me so that it will not happen to me as well. Save me, Krishna, protect me, protect me. That's a spiritual reaction, because you practice Krishna consciousness even more. Like whenever Maya, the illusory energy, tries to influence the devotee, a true devotee, he practices Krishna consciousness even more. This is why Maya at one point she gives up. What's the use? Whenever I try to cover the Krishna consciousness of the devotee, he becomes more Krishna conscious. This is not what I want. Then she gives up. So the time is really over. Hare Krishna.